Good evening all, this is Vijayakeerthi. So welcome to this webinar for application of artificial intelligence and big data in IoT space. Basically, I am working as a data scientist. I have 7 years of work experience and I have worked across multiple problem statements, and IoT is one of my favorite areas. The agenda for this webinar is going to be highly simple. So what I'm going to do is I will introduce you to IoT, and then there's going to be a big data introduction, artificial intelligence introduction, and there are two case studies which would I want you guys to have a look at it, and then we will end up with a career path in IoT space and machine learning, followed by questions and discussions. So this is going to be the agenda, and let's get this started. So what is IoT? So IoT is basically connected devices with a lot of interactions happening among themselves, and there is no hard fast rule that this is going to be your IoT and this is not. So it's about X number of devices getting connected with each other, talking to each other, and doing a lot of communications. And this IoT, Internet of Things, how it is being used across big data, artificial intelligence is something fascinating. And what we will be doing is have a look at what is the trend of IoT, and then we will quickly move on to big data and artificial intelligence. So let's have a look at this particular infographic which I would like to show. So this is something which we are talking on, the growth of Internet of Things, and we have taken the trends for the past 2 decades. And the thing is, by 2020, it is estimated to be 50 billion devices, and currently we are close to 29 billion, which means we are going to see a 50% increase in the number of devices which are getting connected to each other and having a lot of interactions. And on top of that, what is fascinating is machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the tools required to pull insights and have recommendations on top of it. Now, when it comes to big data and Internet of Things, it's more about understanding the basics of big data, which is volume, velocity, variety, and how good the data is, how fast the data is. Is it a click stream, or is it a continuously streaming data? When I talk about artificial intelligence, it's more of a huge, application oriented space. Let's say, self-driving cars, traffic recognition, onboard diagnostics, Amazon eco-based alert system, and things like that. So the key focus areas are going to be, as listed below. It's going to be home automation, self-driving cars, and there are a lot of applications across telecom, automobile. Wearables is one of the most upcoming areas. Let's say, Google Glass or Samsung of the world. And you will also have a lot of applications across oil and gas. When I talk about oil and gas, it's more into safety planning, optimization problems, and how good and how efficient we can carry out things. And the last one, manufacturing, it's more of predictive maintenance and preventive maintenance as well. We are looking into how we can use the existing systems and have a better service mechanisms. So this is something we are going to talk with respect to IoT, but this is not again limited to. Now, the basics of big data. This is something almost everyone would have heard of, but I would say this is the most basic thing which any data science or machine learning, or somebody is interested in IoT must know. So volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. Again, volume, we are talking about petabytes and zettabytes of data. And when I talk about velocity, how fast the streaming data is it per second, or is it per minute, or is it just per day, or even fractions of seconds? So that will again impact your IoT platform. And then the most important thing, what kind of big data tools you're using. When I say streaming data, the tool which you use should be highly performance oriented. And the third one is going to be variety of data. Let's say social media, and I'm talking about video data or image data. So any big data tool which you are using again should support the different varieties of data. And the veracity. Now, veracity is most difficult to handle. It's highly uncertain. We do not know what kind of data it is going to give, what kind of users are going to ask, and what kind of uncertain things are going to happen. The reason is, multiple people are using and multiple geographies are linked to each other. Now, considering all these four criterias, I would say whenever you want to choose a big data tool, this is going to be your basics. One out of these four will definitely impact the business. And the point is, out of my experience and knowledge and whatever I have heard, at least two should get, added to that big data tool, whichever you select. When we are going to address any platform, it's not just about IoT; it's about any platform. And when you are able to see that at least two are getting solved, then that we it means that we are on the right track. So this is about the basics of big data. But anybody who wants to really use this particular platform should be very aware of these particular concepts. Now, artificial intelligence. So I will be spending enough time on this. What I would say is, this is not again limited to. It's more of using multiple things to improvise the insights and use how good you can. Now let's say chatbots. So this pyramid will clearly tell you, how the particular business is being driven, how people are using multiple technology tools to use artificial intelligence in IoT space. Now, I would like to highlight on the first one, chatbot. So we have heard a lot of frameworks on chatbots, lot of applications on chatbots, and how it is being used across multiple scenarios. The point is, chatbots is something which people use to gather information and then give the required answers. When it comes to IoT space, your chatbot is going to slightly work in a different way. You want to understand how much information you will get across devices and what is the information the other device is seeking. It can be in safety areas. It can be in let's say optimization areas. So the chatbot works in a way that the more the data you feed, it understands better and it starts responding in a better manner. Now, when I talk about deep learning and natural language understanding, it's more of high-end processing algorithms where you use let's say CNN, RNN, and LSTM and GRUs of the world, and try to make the algorithm understand that whenever such a pattern is available, it means that you need to do say let's say an X thing or a Y thing. But the point is, what we want to grab out of this particular slide is how much of companies are working, how much of research is being done on all these areas. And again, everything is very specific to Internet of Things. So let's say natural language understanding. A quick example is, nowadays we can see that there are support executives who will answer to your queries. Now, when we find that we are able to train the chatbot and make it understand using NLP algorithms, then there is going to be an automated tool or an automated software which can answer any question and give you better answers. So that's the kind of research, and people have come up with some wonderful tools which can answer any question and then gives the appropriate answer. So that is something NLP does. And what we try to do is, let's say an IoT company wants to use NLP as a support platform. What they try to do is, they use these chatbots, train them with a lot of NLP algorithms, and make the people understand on multiple IoT products. Let's say I want to have a a Wi-Fi router which can control my PC, and I just give, let's say, in a chatbot that I want a Wi-Fi router to control the PC. Now, what it understands using NLP algorithms is that a person A or B wants to control the laptop or desktop using Wi-Fi as a medium of controlling mechanism. So there is going to be a frequent talk between a laptop or a desktop towards the Wi-Fi, and it's going to happen vice versa. But the point, overall, the understanding should be that you need to train the machine learning algorithm. And the reason artificial intelligence is that you don't need to do it every time. It let's say if the chatbot is not sure of any question, what it does is it tries to say in a very different way that I'm not sure of this. I would like to answer it sometime later. So what it does is, meanwhile, when it gets the actual answer from, let's say, some other person, the next time you come up, you will get the answer. That's the best part of artificial intelligence, and it is highly automated. We don't do we don't repeat multiple tasks. What it does is it tries to understand on its own and gives the answers. So this is about artificial intelligence in IoT space. So what I will be doing in the next let's say 15 or 20 minutes, I would want to cover two case studies: one, big data in IoT, and artificial intelligence in IoT. So this particular big data in IoT case study is a real implementation. It has been done by a lot of companies across the world, Agroland and multiple other companies who try to use big data and IoT as a coupled technology platform to improve the lot of to improve efficiency, increase the number of yields, and also lower cost. It tries to optimize everything. And on a high level, I do not want to get into the low in depth of the technology, but on a high level, I would say the people have used R, Hadoop, and geospatial tools, and the technology is more of using RFIDs and biosensors, gates, and let's say techniques. It's again random forest tree models, but not limited to. Again, it's going to have a very high chance of using neural networks as a algorithm to implement this particular case study. Now, coming to the business problem, there are a lot of livestock, a lot of images. There's going to be huge amount of streaming data, and you can see that the livestock is moving here and there. And the other part is you have a lot of weather factors, biological factors, which again would add to the challenge. Now, the question here is, how do I increase my yield and lower my cost both in parallel? So these people have actually used all these tools and technologies. They have come up with a, say, a huge implementation by using these tools. There is going to be two parts to this: one, a real time algorithm which runs on the live data, and as well you will have a batch processing which does a lot of activities behind the screen to understand how to improve yields, and again how do I lower my cost. So the solution is highly technology oriented. It has a lot of scope in image processing again. But overall, what we try to focus here is, how are these devices connected with each other, and how are we using multiple sources of data. Let's say I use satellite imagery data, I use RFID tag data, and I also have my biological and weather related factors, which is again stored in some database. And I have to couple all these things because each one has its own frequency. Let's say I talk about satellite imagery. I'm not going to get say every second. It's more of over a long period. Whereas RFID data, I'm going to give it every second. So remember, we were talking about uncertainty of data. This is more on those lines. I don't know, and I'm not sure how frequent am I going to get, and what is the different type of data am I going to get. So these kind of challenges are always posed in any big data tool. And when it comes to IoT, these challenges are something which should be handled and should be trained before a real time challenge occurs. That's why we do a lot of testing of algorithms. We do a lot of even training of algorithms. We try to focus more on the efficiency of the model. So this helps on understanding what kind of technology challenges we have, and also where do we use machine learning algorithms coupled with big data and IoT platforms. So this is more of a implementation, and let's say the company was able to understand all the complications, and they were implementing it. And yes, they were able to lower significant amount of cost, as well as the yields were really huge, more than the cost. They were able to have a lot of output factors which actually was consumed to the end business. So this is more on a practical application oriented case study. This is again not limited to using only these kind of tools and technologies. Probably you can use multiple other tools for the same case study, but this is more on understanding perspective of how are we using the all the tools in the market and bringing out the best of it. This again ties back with your basics of big data. You need to understand how complicated and how well equipped are we to create a platform. So this is on the lines of a big data case study in Internet of Things. Now, the next case study is going to be more of using artificial intelligence in IoT. So these are something which people might have heard of. Let's say in a realistic scenario, when you go to a manufacturing industry, you have a lot of managers, you have a lot of workers, and there is chances of immediate issues coming where an on-field technician should go and look at it. Now these people who did this particular implementation used Amazon Eco, and what they did is breathtaking. They understood the multiple data platforms, they processed it, they used artificial intelligence on top of it, and basically what they did is they tried to simulate a human being handling multiple other situations. Let's say when I understand that a machine A is going to have some problem, using the historical data, the algorithms are able to predict that this machine A is going to face such a problem at this particular time, or let's say in the next 24 hours. And what this device does is it opens up for the technician who is going to work on this particular issue, and warns him that this is the time limit which you can have and you need to solve this, and if you're not solving, these are the complications. Now, coming back to the situation of where the industry is located, right? You have, let's say, you have 100 technicians. When you actually implement this particular platform, you don't really need 100 technicians, because it also prioritizes the issues and says that these are the set of issues which you need to solve at the first, and these you need to solve in the next upcoming 24 hours or 48 hours. And this is one of the complicated platform, I would say. Again, the tools used are or you can also use Python, or you can use any particular machine learning tool. There are big data platforms, and there is also voice recognition. Now I would like to highlight something on voice recognition. This is a very huge area, and people explore a lot of things. What we see that we use neural networks, we use LSTMs to make it understand that this is what a particular person A is responding. Let's say the algorithm predicts that an issue A is going to pop up in the next 24 hours. And what the technician does is, in return, he also asks a set of questions. Okay, tell me where is the location available. Tell me how many number of backup machines I have. So when the person asks these kind of questions, what it does is it understands it the person voice. It decrypts that this is the text, or this is the transcript he was talking about, and then goes and searches the database whether that such a possibility is available, and takes up the answers required for that, and again comes up with the end solution that the location is let's say 500 meters towards your south of this particular point, and you have other tools like this available in that location for it to solve. So the intelligence level is very high, but there is a lot of complications in training the algorithms. Let's say even if you want to train your neural networks, or if you want to train your LSTMs, what we try to do is increase the amount of training data and make it understand that these are the possible challenges which occur, and these are the questions we ask. The more the questions are asked, the more the algorithm is getting trained. Now, coming back to the actual problem, you can see that I have highlighted two different things: proactive voice-based alerts, which we were talking about, where Amazon Echo, or any device would do that. I think Google also has come up with a latest device which can put down alerts which can do voice recognition and process the data. Then voice recognition based initiating system changes. Now let's say a technician wants to switch off machine B. All he would do is he will understand that based on the alert, I don't want my machine B to run further. So he goes and gives a command, switch off machine B. Now what it does is it understands that person B has asked him to switch it off, and since these guys are highly connected with each other using Internet of Thing platforms, or let's say they are connected in some mode of communication, it goes and switches off. Now, what happens as a result is the machine B is saved from a huge problem, as well as the efficiency is not being disturbed at any cost, and thereby the throughput is also adjusted because as a result, let's say you have 100 machines and one particular machine is being switched it off. Now the remaining 99 has to work in such a way that the demands are kept up, and the complexity is not being brought to the table in the form of a low output. So this is more of highly intelligent platform, and we can see that lot of startups and lot of companies have started using this. I would say that Tesla is one such company who does wonderful things using artificial intelligence, voice recognition, and all these guys are highly connected to each other. So there is no way that we can see just an alert. We also see a solution. We also see what else can be done to compensate that. Now this is the business problem being talked about. Now coming to the solution part, there are three parts to it. One, you have your IoT space where all these guys are connected. Number two, you also need to understand that whenever there is an IoT, a proper big data tool or a platform should be made available. Let's say I use Hadoop, or any particular technology or a tool to capture that data. The third part is your core machine learning engine on top of the data. And what I mean by artificial intelligence is not just building a model, but taking it to the next level, making people understand that there is going to be a precautionary alert, or there is going to be an emergency alert, or this is just a cautional alert. And apart from that, you need to answer the questions being asked by the field technician, because there are a lot of complications on the field which he would like to solve. Let's say I raise an issue. The algorithm says that the probability of a machine failure is just 60%. Now it's up to the technician to either continue or discontinue. So what he says is, no, since it's just 60%, I would say let's go ahead for the next 24 hours. So it means that after 24 hours, whether the person is present or not, these communication devices are used understand the answer given by that particular technician and switch it off just after 24 hours, thereby increasing the efficiency and also understanding what is being asked and what is not being asked. So the differentiation between what is being asked and not asked is more of intelligent algorithms can understand it, and in practically it understands the other complexities and prioritizes. So I think even Uber uses artificial intelligence. One of the best use cases is self-driving cars. Though this is more of a research area, but we can see that Google and Tesla were able to come up with successful implementations. But still, there are certain challenges available. One of the cases where Google wasn't able to figure out was highly moving, traffic zone. There are multiple people coming in, and the face recognition was absolutely a big problem, because what it can see in the nearby is more prominent. What it can't see farther from the car is prone to error. So this is more of a safety issue, and there is a lot of complications and humans are involved. So hence the better algorithm is being implemented, the better output. When it comes to Tesla, I would say that particular artificial intelligence implementation is slightly different. They are focusing on self driving mechanisms and also safety. they are focusing on engine performance. One such part of engine performance monitoring using IoT is onboard diagnostics. We try to see, how we can improve the diagnostics characters, and of late, people are using it as a service mechanism. Let's say, any luxury car provider wants to understand how his customers are currently. Are they running towards problem, or they are going good? What I do is I try to understand their data. I just say that, being on the past historical data, I feel that it's time for you to come for a service, or it's time for you to change such a part, or just come for a general checkup and things like that. Because that's the service impact towards the brand value. Let's say, BMW or Benz or Volvo come with such a feature. It's more of giving the customer the highly sophisticated service mechanisms, without the customer being prompting and say, I'm facing some issues. So it is more of a proactive approach. Now artificial intelligence is being used in such a way that it's not just about using neural networks or LSTMs. It's more of understanding customers wants, customers needs, and then coming up with solution which actually is in demand. So let's say, I do an artificial intelligent platform which the customer doesn't want. However, best it be, still the customer doesn't want it, right? So it's not going to have a huge impact. So even if it's going to be a simple impact, let's say, uh, I think recently we were able to see that in Rolls Royce kind of cars, it has a night vision view, which is able to clearly understand the difference between roads and traffic signals, and also human beings and animals. So what it says that in the next 100 meters or 200 meters, I can see someone standing, and there is a change in the technology. They don't just use normal technology. I think they use infrared rays and other technology based approaches to understand that such an object is existing. And coming to the traffic signals, that's the best Rolls Royce could come up with when we talk about especially night driving. So they have an enhanced feature called night vision, where you can see in your touchscreen that such a feature is available. And I just want to give you a caution note. So this is more of putting the customers forefront and having them surrounded with all these artificial intelligence tools to come up with the best approaches and best solving mechanisms. Now this particular artificial intelligent based approach is more of using voice recognition, uh, speech recognition, and coming out with wonderful algorithms to trigger a caution note, and also understand the technician questions and answer them. So this is more of an implementation oriented case study. This is going to be a highly complex one compared to the earlier one. The earlier one, again, image recognition is still complex, but the shortcut to do the earlier use cases, you can still go ahead and create a platform without image recognition. This one is more of a complex feature where we use voice recognition, and this is not something which can be avoided. So basically, what we are trying to say is try to do things which are intelligent enough and which customer really wants. Thereby, you should show a lot of implementation based advantages, rather than being highly costly or difficult enough to implement. Because when it comes to the business, at the end of the day, it's more on understanding customers wants, rather than whatever R&D we want to do. So just give a thought before whenever you want to build a platform, and then you can build it by changing certain things, understanding certain things, and then coming up with the best set of solutions. Now, I think this is the last part I wanted to cover, and after that, it will be put open to questions and discussions. Now, out of what I have seen in the career track, I kind of have divided into three different flavors. One is going to be functional, the other one is going to be technical. So these are going to be end to end. And now there is something which is involving both technology and functional role. let's say, when I talk about functional, it's going to be your BD guy, your sales lead, and it's going to be a product manager, and it's highly towards consulting, and product development, and also, bringing in more, POCs or projects. So these kind of, roles are highly functional. When I talk about technical, I would say, all the research oriented roles, like say, artificial intelligent engineer or a ML researcher can be clubbed under, technical. I do not want to say data scientist as a highly technical role, because what we data scientists do is understand both the business problem and try to come up with a solution which actually solves the business problem. And there is a chance that, you have a project manager for any IoT platform or a IoT project or a IoT application. So when I say, these distinctions, it's always good to have a, clear understanding of the roles, do's and don'ts, or the expectations. Let's say when I talk about ML researcher, it's about bringing up new algorithms or changing the existing algorithms to come up with the extra feature, or, make it highly efficient. So this is going to be highly research oriented, and people who work here are, highly geared towards coming up with new algorithms or new techniques which can improve the efficiency. When I talk about functional, it's going to be the other end. I want to understand what is the want in the industry, and, what these functional guys does do is, talk with techno functional people or talk with technical people, and make them understand that this is something which, is wanted more in the industry. Can you come up with a good algorithm, or can you come up with a good mechanism whereby I can, solve these problems? So this is more of, they work together. There's no way, only one particular chunk of people come and solve the problem, and, it just happens after that. That is a very risky factor, because, once your algorithm is failed, there's no way, to get saved by, at any cost. So the algorithm is to be retrained, and hence you need a data scientist. The other way around, when I talk about project manager, it is more of, prioritizing things, understanding the complications of the algorithms, and also understanding the business requirements of the clients or customers. Let's say, I want an algorithm which, tells me how to improve my sales. Now, the question of how to improve my sales is, you can divide it into multiple things. I need a lot of insights towards my sales, positive and negative, and I also need to predict my sales. So thereby, you should build an algorithm which will give you more towards, prediction as well as insights, your prescriptive analytics part. So hence, you can't come up with, any black box algorithm which doesn't give you, let's say, insights or any depth into how can I improve my sales, because these are things which people will really want to, have a real time approach, and I want to see how good the algorithm is. So this is more towards, implementation perspective, whereas your technical roles are going to be highly towards, using the existing algorithms, coming up with new algorithms. I have seen people, changing the way SVM works, your support vector machine, and trying to build new support vector, algorithms which can, come up with better efficiency. You can see a lot of white papers which are being published, and one such, outcome which is very, which is being used across a lot of industries is your, LSTMs. We all know how, this came up. Andrew Ng, the most, prominent personality and professor across artificial intelligence stream, was the, master brain behind these kind of, algorithms. Particularly LSTMs is something which, they had devised and come up with, understanding how can I use neural networks without forgetting the past, and hence, I can give the best output. So these are some, complicated things, but it's more towards research. Whereas your functional and techno functional, you don't try to, create something new. What you try to do is use the existing things, improve the way it is working, and hence, solve the business problem. You try to understand the client's requirements and focus on, how can this be solved in a better way. So these are, a lot of career path. Again, this is a very high level. So the reason I have color coded in red is to understand the distinction between functional and techno-functional. Obviously, technical is something which people will be very clear, but the distinction between functional and techno-functional roles are very sensitive, and people need to understand the ins and outs, and hence you can choose your career path. I would say. There are a lot of universities which offer both techno-functional programs or technical programs as well as functional programs. So it depends on your aspirations, and I would say try to talk with these set of people, data scientists. Try to talk with consulting people. You will get more insights towards how these are being used across industry. So this is the my take on career path. Again, there can be multiple flavors of this, but on a high level, these are the three distinctions, and the difference and similarities. There are obviously going to be a lot of similarities and differences. Similarities, you try to create uh, you try to solve the business problem in a different way. You don't use your conventional approach. Now the difference is something where multiple teams work. I don't want to have a researcher at this point of time. This is something will get decided upon the business problem. If the client's requirement is towards come up with a new algorithm, then yes, you would have to do it. So when I say come up with an algorithm which solves my business problem, it is more towards a data scientist or a team of data scientists would work together and hence solve the business problem. So this is my high level overview on the career path. This applies both to IoT analytics, artificial intelligence, because all these guys work together hand in hand, and there is very less chance of distinguishing between each other. So we have a lot of firms which offer functional roles. Let's say consulting, KPMG, and a lot of Accenture and other consulting companies do it. Technical roles, I could see a lot of startups coming up with highly technical roles where a lot of research is being implemented and being used. So this is my take on career path. I think we have covered a lot of information in the last 45 minutes or 1 hour. Now I will open the webinar to questions, and we can take questions. So request you all to put your questions forward, and I can answer them. Okay, so one of the students has asked, how to start a career path in technical area of IoT, and is it just Java? So to answer this question, it's good if you know Java, or it's good if you know any programming. Any good programming will help you a lot. The reason is you need to have a lot of technical coding skills. It doesn't matter whether it's just Java, but yes, it would give you an edge when you know a lot of Java, because some of the existing systems still use Java for doing ML related applications. The other advantage you would have is if you know any good programming language, it's very easy for you to understand or build any concepts. Let's say I'm in Java, I want to move towards I can move towards R or Python at any point of time, because it requires statistical knowledge more than just coding skills. So understanding and learning any programming language wouldn't be such a big task. I would say it is a pretty easy one, and hence you can get started. Just that you need to concentrate on your statistical understanding and try to implement them. Try to do a lot of use cases. Try to build algorithms. If not, try to solve them. So that would be my take on this particular question. Okay, so there's one more question on okay, how can I switch into IoT as a field, and the current role being a project or a product manager? What kind of trainings, learnings, he or she needs to get? Now, since currently you are a project or a product manager, I would say you would be more in a functional role where you will fall in one of the functional columns or a techno functional roles. Now coming to the switching, it's always good to know the algorithms. There is no way you can just ignore those, but what you can do is try to understand across different verticals. Let's say, how can I solve a problem in telecom industry? How can I solve a problem in manufacturing? How am I going to use either a decision tree or a logistic regression across multiple industries? And one such industry is going to be IoT. Let's say I want to come up with a use case or a mechanism to predict device failure. So device failures again are IoT problems where all the devices are connected, and I want to predict when a device A or B is going to fail. So that kind of approach is more of using application oriented knowledge. What I mean by application oriented knowledge is what kind of algorithms can be used to do this, and what is the advantages and disadvantages. So that is to answer the point number one. And what kind of trainings and learnings do I need to get? Trainings is I would say there are a lot of training institutes across India. One such so since you are coming with a functional background, I would say go ahead and enroll yourself in a functional course. Let's say Great Lakes or ISB Hyderabad, or IIM Bangalore. There are a lot of colleges which offer these courses and give you a functional flavor. So even I had a lot of functional experience when I joined Great Lakes. So I was able to see the difference, and I found that all my peers are highly functional people, and I also had technical people where I can understand and talk with these people. So it's good to go both technical and functional hand to hand. It's more of application oriented knowledge rather than just moving the field or switching the field. So hope I have answered that particular question. Okay. Then there is, one more question. Are these real life implemented case studies? Yes, these are real life implemented case studies, and these are something which I myself have seen. In the recent times, I was able to understand the complexity and choose such a use case. The reason I have brought this into this is I wanted to show the complexity level. So the first one is not so complex, but the second one is so complex. So understanding the difference, understanding how you can use it is more of the way you should work with. Now moving on to the next question, being a fresher to big data, what role can I choose and how to start my career? Okay, so now, being a fresher, that opens a lot of doors for you. You can choose in whichever stream you want. You can, navigate in all, possibly, the lower part of this particular slide can, will be more aligned towards freshers. I would say, try to understand all the tools, try to understand how they are different from each other, what kind of tools are being used across multiple industries. There are certain reasons why still logistic regression is still in existence, though we have come up with neural networks. The reason is I just don't want to predict my fraud, or I just don't want to predict my device failure. I want to understand what is leading to the device failure. So one such beautiful algorithm is logistic regression, which will give you both the numbers as well as the insights. So try to understand what each tool does. You definitely need a lot of technical coding skills across multiple platforms. I would say over a practice you will get it. Now moving on to the next question. This is a very good question. What is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? Okay. So now, through all these slides, machine learning is something you try to, build algorithms on top of the existing data and come up with a prediction or prescriptive insights. Now, artificial intelligence is one step ahead of ML. I would say, ML is a subset of AI. So what I mean by that is artificial intelligence doesn't just, ask you to build algorithms. It also understands what is going to be the next set of action items and come up with a solution which can simulate them and answer the same even before anybody asks what kind of things I need to do. So this is on a very high level. Once you start working, it makes clear that what is the difference between that. And again, one more question on the same line: artificial intelligence engineer and my ML researcher. It is again how you want to implement your different challenges, how you want to work towards that, and how you want to solve problems. Okay, there is one more question on freshers, whether he wants to start with big data or machine learning. This highly depends on your interest areas. If you ask me, I'm a guy who works more on ML rather than big data, but I would say you need to know all these things, because that is something which is wanted in the industry. A guy with just ML wouldn't be the most wanted. A guy with ML and big data is the most wanted across multiple industries. Okay. Are you familiar with AI? And he wants to understand production scheduling. Yes. So this is something which people work, and you can see a lot of robots simulating people's actions. If you go to the Rolls Royce or if you go to the Volvo manufacturing plant, you can see that there are a lot of robots, and all these robots are connected to each other. You can see that they make luxury cars, and they just make thousands over a year, which means the attention to detail is very high. So in the other way around, they also want to understand that these are the things which should be done, and these are the things which should not be done, and what if some failure happens. So yes, production scheduling and implementation perspective is something which a lot of people want, and artificial intelligence tools are able to solve that purpose. Okay. Informatica, yes, brilliant. Informatica people, I see a lot of Informatica and ETL people move towards analytics. The best advantage is they already know what is data cleaning, data transformation, how to use the data, where to pull the data, which is something any machine learning project or expectancies wanted to know. They want to know all these different things, and it doesn't matter whether it's just insurance domain. It's more of how you want to use Informatica, how you want to understand these mechanisms, how you want to clean the data. You can use Ab initio, you can use Informatica, you can use data stage, or any tools. It doesn't matter. It's more of understanding the concepts and doing things. One more question: is Python required for AI? Okay, this kind of implementation and more is more towards how you want to take it. Python is one such brilliant tool which has a lot of libraries, and it's also faster compared to R. And you can use Python for solving all these problems. All the algorithms which we talked about are available in Python. And there's one more question on SaaS developer. Good. So SaaS, again, it's another brilliant tool. The way people use SaaS is to understand how big the data is and how we can use. And SaaS opens your doors towards other fields like using R and Python. You just need to know the tool. Statistics is going to be the same, and machine learning concepts are going to be the same. It's just about knowing the tools. What are the other languages that is needed for technical technical person and career path? You don't need to know a lot of languages. It is okay even if you know either R or Python. But what you need to definitely know is the concepts, is the machine learning algorithms, when to use when to use decision tree, when to use neural networks. What is the difference between multiple algorithms? How is the industry being consumed across these algorithms, and when to use and when not to use? And I think that pretty much answers that particular question. Yes, I have experience in database. Can I go for IoT? Definitely yes. You can still move ahead. The only thing is you need to understand a lot of statistics and try to work on it. That is something which I would say. Okay. what do I need to look to brush up if I want to move towards big data? You don't really need to brush up things if you already are aware of. What you can do is try to simulate those environments. Don't not It's not just about theory, it's about practical application. When you use Hadoop, you can always go for a home based setup. There is no harm in installing a personal Hadoop environment. It's not always required to have a client server mechanism. You can always go and try to do multiple problems in your own say desktop or laptop or labs, where you can simulate how Hadoop works, and it's just about practice. Okay. There's one more good question. What is the roadmap for your career in functional and techno functional, especially for someone having consulting experience? It is okay if you're new to big data. Now, talking about the roadmap, you need to understand a lot of practical applications. You need to read a lot of uh, a good number of articles which focus on the functional space. I would say you don't really need to understand the technicalities. You just need to understand the functional flavors, how it is being used and how it is not being used across multiple industries. Since you are in a consulting background, you also need to attach a business flavor. Just try to give the business spin across multiple tools and technologies, and try to understand what is the advantage and disadvantage. I think that's something which I would make or advise you to do it. Okay, there's one more question. Across. Oh, this is very particular to Great Lakes. I'm obliged to answer this. Yes, one such institution is Great Lakes. Is this where data science path starts from? Okay, so all these courses which you are talking about, it is going to give you a kickstart. You need to understand that there's a lot of personal effort to be put in, and institutions like Great Lakes try to make you understand that these are the possible doors which I can open for you, and these are the algorithmic approaches, these are the case studies. And Great Lakes is one such institution which works on case study approach. It doesn't work on technical just technical approach. It works on case study and try to understand the implications. So you do a lot of case study solving, you do a lot of linear programming, you try to optimize, you try to do capstone projects. So that is something which you should take it seriously and try to solve it. And hence it's not that your career path is being started from there. It's more of these programs help you understand where you're good at and what you're good at. So it's better to understand where you're good at, and try to solve the problems and try to take a career path from there. And I think anybody would be open to discuss on those things. And there's one more question: does IoT help in diagnosing diseases and then suggest a proper medication without help of a doctor? Okay. uh, Eliminating doctor is a very difficult task, but yes, IoT is being used across these industries. And the way it works is, let's say you have a lot of images of cancer treatment, where there are malignant images over a period of time. Now this is something which was practically implemented and experimented and saw a huge success. And you can always surf in the net and try to understand it. One quick example: currently Google is working on diabetes, retinopathy diabetes, to be very particular. I would, ask you guys to go and, have a look at the retinopathy diabetes problem. They are trying to solve that problem using a lot of, connectivity mechanism, and, thereby understanding it. I would say it is definitely not possible, 100% without a doctor, but what you do is try to improve the way it is being, working till now. Okay. Uh, there's one more question, I would say. Okay. I think I have taken a lot of questions, but I would like to answer a couple more, and then I would wind up the webinar. So how does one push for the usage of IoT in relation with cost and feasibility? Good question. So this is more of understanding IoT and using the same, or coupling with machine learning algorithms, and trying to understand where can I cut the cost. Let's say I have 100 machines, and all these 100 machines are being serviced every 6 months. It's not necessary, right? Because if you have a connectivity mechanism and all these guys are connected, then definitely there is going to be an algorithm which can tell you that hey, these are the machines which you need to service in the next 6 months, and these are the machines which you need to service in the next 8 months. And let's say if all these things are happening hand in hand, it's going to be a continual learning, and it's going to make you understand that these are the multiple things which can be done. So this is more of implementation oriented problem solving rather than highly technical. There's one more question to how easy it is for a 10 years experienced guy to get absorbed in analytics after a mid-career change since these. Okay, so this is something a lot of people do. Even my own peers and my own friends are doing this. Definitely, it's not going to be a huge or Herculean task, I would say. It is not so tough, I would say. It's more of understanding, again, trying to learning new things, equipping with the latest tools and technologies. If you say, is there a person who knows all the big data tools? There is a less chance because there are so many tools. I think there are more than 100 to 200 things. Some of you guys would have seen, the infographic. That is so too much. What I would say is understand the math or understand the stats behind it, and also focus on how can you solve these problems. So that is something which a lot of institutes focus on. Let's say even my own college tries to focus on the functional favor, tries to solve the problem, and tries to make people understand how can I solve that. So that is something which you would need it, and you will learn over a period of time. So definitely it's not going to be a tough challenge, I would say. How much math? Yes, a good amount of math. I would say seriously, a large amount of math is involved when it comes to research based uh, programming, because there is something which you need to always deep dive, try to understand. And yes, mathematics and the statistics part is very important. You need to really do it. And how to use voice recognition to convert into NLP. So as I said, I would ask you to look at long short term memory, and also GRUs, gated units, where these people use these kind of algorithms to decrypt, or I would say to convert voice into text. What it tries to understand is how are these voice simulations being converted into text. Okay. And I think that question answers a lot of other subsets. And being a fresher, again, this question was on a fresher mode. You can always work towards anything which you really like. It's not necessary for you to understand just the algorithms. It's more of using these people's findings and trying to solve the problems. And there's also one more question on oil and field image data. Uh, okay. So to solve these kind of problems, first thing you need to understand the sector, how the sector works, how oil sector works, what are the pipelines involved. There is a lot of geospatial factors involved. You can't just dig a pipeline and start taking it all the way. So you need to understand a bit of geospatial analytics also, and then field image data is something. Let's say. I would definitely ask you to have a look at tools like QGIS and ArcGIS. So these tools are something which being used both for geospatial, as well as how to understand maps, how to understand the geo images, and also how to couple it with oil and other industries. So that's more of the implementation perspective. SAP platform. So it's not about any past platform. The doors are always open. It's just that you need to understand what are the challenges which are available in IoT. One such big challenge currently, which is coming up, is IoT security. So let's say it is immaterial if you even come whether in a Java platform or SAP background. So getting into IoT, you need to understand what is the hot cake happening and try to work towards that. So I would say go ahead and start working on those things. Okay. There is going to be a mechanical engineer question now. So he's more interested into robotics. Is it a career lot related to software programs? Definitely no. So let's say I come to you and try to understand how a mechanical thing works. Definitely, it's a huge challenge. So mechanical engineers and business. So basically, we call them as business people. We try to talk with them, try to understand how these guys works, and try to simulate certain things. And it's always open. The question is more of how you want to use multiple other factors or tools and techniques to solve these things. So yes, it's always open, and you can always have a good look at it. And I have 18 years non-technical experience. What do you suggest for me? Okay, so personally, you need to understand what is your aspirations, what is your long-term and short-term goals, and I'm guessing it. It is very clear that you have non-technical experience. So I would always um, advise you to go on a functional role. There are a lot of roles in consulting space, product development space, and even sales background or BD background. You need to at the end of the day, whatever product or tool I develop, there should be someone who can sell it to customers, right? And since you come at a non-technical background, these doors are open. Your functional doors are open. It's always good to understand the technical part, but it's more on understanding and how people solve the problem. So I would say you can have a look at how these things are working and how can this solve the current customers problem. And DB experience, yes, I think I have answered these questions. Again, one more database. I think these kind of questions are similar. Hadoop tools. Okay. Okay. So this particular gentleman knows Hadoop tools and he has 3 years of experience in Java. How do I proceed further in R or ML or Spark or Scala? Proceeding in all three, it's going to be a Herculean task, definitely, because you need to understand and take a step at a time. First understand R, how it works, or Python, how it works. I don't think more than a week is required to understand R. It's more on a scripting language. Machine learning, yes, you would definitely consume your lot of time. The best part you have is, Hadoop, Java. So Spark and Scala is going to be very simple. These guys are related. You can always do Spark ML. And you can implement Scala programs if you know Java for sure. So that is something you have. I would say you are on a strong zone. Just try to understand what is ML and what are the algorithms. I think you would have a good chance to work across these guys. I want to become data science. What to do? Okay, you want to become data scientist. Try to learn machine learning algorithms. Try to understand analytics and start working towards that. I think that would be the simple answer, I would say. What study I have to do if I want to change my career towards analytics. So I think pretty much it aligns to what kind of programs or courses you need to join. I would say as I said, if we want to have a functional and case study based approach, then Great Lakes is one such good college. If you want to understand the technical depth, always there are certain courses and colleges which offer the technicalities. Let's say I'm talking about I am Bangalore, which offers good technical exposure. But definitely, you're understanding these things and how to implement is the next question. It moves towards the implementation perspective. If I want to learn AI with self-learning, again, understand the basics of statistics, try to solve a lot of problems, try to um, speak with people who know this, and definitely they will be able to guide you on uh, things which are happening currently in the industry. And there's one more question on cross-functional domain experience. If he wants to move from sales to project management in the manufacturing industry, 20 years experience. Okay. So, project management, definitely it requires, this kind of experience. I would say project management, since you are saying 20 years in manufacturing and engineering industry, I would say go have a look at, all these, manufacturing sector people. I would say, the Volvos, the Rolls Royce, and, I think even nowadays I see a lot of small players, not small players exactly, the smaller, non-luxury segments. I would say, I can see a lot of OBD being used. I would say Mahindra, Hyundai. I think now all the cars come out with OBD. Just go and try to understand how can you pick the data. All you need to do is, understand the data and, try to solve those problems. You can definitely, reach out to people if you want to understand, or if you have any queries, you can always go and work with these people. So I think I have answered a different set of questions. So I'm going to randomly pick the last couple of questions to just answer. So in case if you guys are if I have not answered you, I think what you can do is I have put out my my email ID, my mobile number. You can shoot out an email or just call whenever you feel to call me. Just try to even an email would do. I will more be happy to answer these questions. Definitely I would have missed a lot of questions, there is a chance, but given the time frame, I'm trying to answer at my best. So that is something, I'm putting it on the screen. You can take a note of this. Just reach out to me. If I'm not able to answer, definitely I will be able to tell you or guide you where to go and get the best answer. So even I'm on a learning spree, so I like to learn from you people. So that is fine. uh, so I think we had a good, exhaustive session. I would always say, let me summarize of, what we have discussed. So I'm currently, closing the questions, and, you can reach out to me. You can shoot me an email, and if you feel you want to, even WhatsApp me, please do. I will be able to do it. So that is fine. Now, I just want to, summarize on what we discussed yesterday, a couple of minutes more, not more than that. So the thing is, we started with what is IoT, and we were able to see the market trends. We were able to see how IoT is related to big data. We talked more on, the four parameters. So anybody in who's about to start a new venture or a new, platform development, these four parameters will definitely tell you what to choose, what not to choose. It's about velocity, veracity, and volume and variety. These four parameters will define what kind of tools you need to use. And the second one was, we saw how artificial intelligence is being used, and how things are getting uh, being used across different industries, right? We saw chatbots, we saw cognitive, we saw deep learning, we saw NLP, how these things are being implemented in, IoT space. And after that, we saw two case studies. The first one was more into, understanding and using image processing, trying to have a better, agrotech farm, I would say, use machine learning and lot of big data tools even for a basic analysis. But the point is that the volume is going to be very high, and there's going to be a lot of streaming data from the livestock, from RFID tags. The second case study was more into voice recognition. How is artificial intelligence being used across this particular field? however they getting used in manufacturing industry. Again, both these guys are not going to get limited to just this particular sector. It's open forum, right? You can always have any technique or any tool being used across industry. It doesn't matter whether we even talking about insurance or telecom. It's about how you want to use that particular application or tool in that. That is something which we saw. And we just had a lot of questions. I think I have answered some of the commonly asked questions as well as some of the specific questions. In case if you feel you need to talk to me or reach out to me, please do. My email ID is available. Shoot out an email. I'll be more than happy to answer. I think I would like to thank Srijit, my college, Great Lakes Institute of Management. I really loved that program. I would thank Dr. V Bala and HackerEarth people, Vishal, Saurabh, and everyone who's involved in this particular session. Thank you all for joining, and have a great evening. Looking forward to connect with you once again. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.